По-перше, ми організували цей захід з друзями всі разом, щоб показати, розказати, продемонструвати правду про цю жахливу війну в Україні. А по-друге, напевно, більш важливим, щоб показати єдність, що борються не тільки українці проти московської, кремлівської окупації, цієї брутальної навали, а що борються і інші національності за свободу і України, і Росії. Так що тут зібралися сьогодні, я вже сказав, і росіяни, і українці, і євреї, і татари, і представники народів Прибалтики, Польщі, і багато корінних канадців.
We want to promote democracy in Russia and to make sure that Russia has a peaceful, democratic and enlightened system, because that's important both for the people in Russia who are now suffering under Putin's regime and are brainwashed by his propaganda, and for the countries around, such as Ukraine, who was invaded as the result of Putin's aggressive policy. When the war in Ukraine started, we decided that it's important to get more vocal and to show that there are also Russian people who stand together with Ukraine and there for peace and independence and sovereignty of the countries in Eastern Europe. In this exhibition, we want to present the key facts about Russia's involvement in Ukraine. The main section is the timeline, which tells the history of the war, and other sections include the proof of the Russian involvement, the biographies of the key militant figures, and the involvement of radical extremists on the Russian side.
To have an organization called Canadians for Democracy in Russia wage that struggle on behalf of Ukrainians is very, very important, because there is a false impression that Russians do not give a damn about what is happening in Ukraine. It is a lie. Putin's adventure in Syria is the beginning of the end of the Putin regime. And when we condemn Russia, we must be very careful. We should constantly say, Putin's Russia. Putin's Russia.
I think we're on the right track here. We need to keep pushing this issue as hard as we can. Awareness is hugely important, and awareness, in fact, in Russia is hugely important. And Putin cannot be let off the hook. You know, he'll try to obfuscate, he will try to distract through Syria and other things. But this cannot be allowed. Ukraine is on the front line of this existential fight in Europe. They are holding the line. And this is something that has to be understood by the rest of Europe. They are literally on the line and holding the wolves away from us.
I'm here to remind you that on March the 21st of 2014, the world changed. Because that was the day when the Council of Federation, a couple of days after the State Duma, ratified the so-called annexation, what we know to be the illegal, unjustified, forceful annexation of Crimea into the Russian Federation. Ever since the Soviet Union's dying days, anyone who recalls those days or studies those days knows that Russia's neo-imperialists have been stoking the flames of conflict in Vilnius, between Armenia and Azerbaijan, in Tajikistan, in the Balkans. Russian fingerprints, ex-KGB, GRU. So today we're here to show that there is no gag that will silence the voices of democracy in Ukraine or Russia, that no Kiselyov, no Pushkov, no Leontiev will ever convince us to heed the Kremlin's new stooges, that we as Canadians are witnesses, every one of us, to the reality of this war and this invasion. The reality that we see in these photographs, that Ukrainian civilians and soldiers see every day in Donbass.
Just a tremendous group of people who share the same values, even though people have different backgrounds, born in different countries. One thing unites us is in that we want to tell the truth, and we want democracy for all peoples. including Ukraine, and I'm sure the Russian people would like democracy as well. And I want to express our thanks and our congratulations to such a young team of people who have put together just a tremendously professional exhibit through their own forces, through their own work. Read every single word on there. Everything is accurate, been researched, and very professionally done. I want to raise our hats to you collectively and thank you very much.
Здесь ребята попытались показать правду, как все на самом деле. Они отразили все то, как работает российская пропаганда. Они показали все то, что путинская Россия сделала в Украине, что она продолжает делать на востоке Украины и в Крыму.
До сих пор существуют какие-то мифы российской пропаганды, которые еще, ну, скажем так, широкая публика, наверное, не осознала. И для развеяния этих мифов вот нужны такие выставки, потому что здесь очень скрупулезно собрана информация о том, как Россия напала на Украину, о войсках, которые присутствовали, о оружии, которое присутствовало на Украине. Каждое действительно слово выверено, каждый факт проверен, каждая фотография подтверждена, ее авторство 100% проверено. То есть абсолютно грандиозная работа.